Hello students, let's start the new chapter ionic equilibrium, as you have already studied in standard 11 about the equilibrium. Actually, what is the ionic equilibrium? So the introduction of ionic equilibrium is when the equilibrium between ions and unionized molecule in solution is maintained is called ionic equilibrium. For example, H plus and OH minus ion and unionized water molecule. Whenever any substance dissolved in water, some ions are created and some undissociated molecules are remaining, which is unionized. So the equilibrium between ions and unionized molecule in solution is called ionic equilibrium. In ionic equilibrium, we are going to study first electrolytes and non-electrolytes. The substance which give rise to ions when dissolved in water are called electrolytes. Means any substance when you dissolve in water and it creates ion, it's called electrolytes. Similarly, the opposite is the non-electrolytes are those which do not ionize and exist as molecule in aqueous solution. I hope you all are clear this. Electrolytes means when electrolyte dissolve in water, it creates ion, and when non-electrolyte are dissolved in water, so it is not ionized, even it exists as molecule in aqueous solution. Electrolytes are of two types. One is strong electrolyte and another is weak electrolyte. Now, what is strong electrolyte? So, student, as first you have to clear, electrolytes means when dissolved in water, it gives rise to ions. And strong electrolytes means the electrolytes ionizing completely or almost completely, means they give completely ions in their aqueous solution or when they dissolve in water. Students, strong electrolytes ionized completely or almost completely, means they give more and more ions when dissolved in water or in aqueous solution. For example, strong acid, strong base and salt. Weak electrolyte, the electrolyte which dissociate to a smaller extent in aqueous solution are weak electrolyte. Both are the electrolytes, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. Strong electrolytes give more and more ions in aqueous solution or when dissolved in water, and weak electrolytes give less number of ions in their aqueous solution. As you have seen, both are electrolytes, so both are dissociated in water, but strong electrolytes give more ions and weak electrolytes give less ions, less number of ions. For example, for the weak electrolyte is weak acid and weak base. Weak acid and weak base. Actually, the weak electrolyte dissociate only partially in aqueous solution. Strong electrolyte dissociate completely. Weak electrolyte dissociate partially. Student, dilute aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means the substance when dissolved in water, so it's aqueous solution. And we are discussing here about weak electrolyte which dissociate only partially in dilute aqueous solution. Okay. The ionization reaction for weak electrolyte is represented by double arrow. You have already aware about the double-headed arrow or double arrow. So, the ionization reaction for weak electrolyte is represented as double arrow between the ion and non-ionized molecule. So this is about the type of electrolyte. The next topic is, as you have seen, degree of dissociation. The symbol is alpha. Actually, the degree of dissociation of an electrolyte is defined as a fraction of total number of mole of electrolyte that dissociate into its ion when the equilibrium is attained. As I have already told you, it is denoted by alpha. Means alpha is equal to number of mole dissociated upon total number of moles. Means if you are taking 100 gram of substance and from 100 gram of substance only 25 are dissociated, so your alpha is equal to 25 upon 100. If you want to take percent dissociation of alpha, so the formula is percent dissociation is equal to alpha into 100. Students, remember, if C is the molar concentration of electrolyte, the equilibrium concentration of cation or anion is alpha into C mole per decimeter cube. It is for molar concentration of an electrolyte. So your formula will be alpha into C and the unit is mole per decimeter cube. This is about the degree of dissociation alpha. The next topic is acids and bases. As you all are very well aware about the or familiar about the acids and bases, as you have already studied all concepts of acids and bases, which is with the litmus paper. When the substance turns blue litmus to red, it is acid, and when red to blue, it is base. There are different types of theories about the acids and bases which we are going to study in this chapter. So the first theory is Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. According to Arrhenius, first we are going to study acid. So according to Arrhenius, acid is a substance which contain hydrogen. Means any of the substance which contain hydrogen and give rise H plus ion in aqueous solution, it is called acid. Acid means contain hydrogen, and when dissolved in water means in aqueous solution it give H plus ion. See the example. HCl is a strong acid. AQ means aqueous or dissolved in water. The substance which is strong, it is represented by single-headed arrow. HCl is a strong acid, that's why we are using here single-headed arrow. It contains hydrogen and gives H plus ion in the aqueous solution. It means it is acid according to Arrhenius theory. Same here, as you are familiar about this compound, it is acetic acid. As a student, you have seen here we are using double-headed arrow, means it is weak acid. Acetic acid contain hydrogen and give rise to H plus ion in the aqueous solution. It means it is acid. So hydrochloric acid and acetic acid both are contain hydrogen and give rise to H plus ion in their aqueous solution. So according to Arrhenius, the compound which gives H plus ion in their aqueous solution is called acid. Students, Arrhenius describe H plus ion in water as bare ions, B-A-R-E, bare ions. The hydrate in aqueous solution and thus represented as hydronium ion, means H3O plus. We are here represented them as H plus ion. So always remember, Arrhenius describe H plus ion in water as bare ion. Now, according to Arrhenius, base is a substance that contain OH group and produce hydroxide ion in aqueous solution. Student, as you have seen, H plus ion produced in aqueous solution, OH minus ion produced in aqueous solution. So remember, whenever you are writing the Arrhenius theory, it is very necessary to write aqueous solution, in aqueous solution. Here again two examples are there. First example is NaOH, sodium hydroxide. As you have seen, single-headed arrow, strong base, give OH minus ion, means hydroxide ion. Same here, ammonium hydroxide, double-headed arrow, give hydroxide ion. Both are the bases. One is strong base, sodium hydroxide, another is weak base, ammonium hydroxide. They gives hydroxide ion, means OH minus ion in their aqueous solution. So according to Arrhenius, both are the base. Students, Arrhenius theory accounts for properties of different acid and bases and is applicable only to aqueous solution. But Arrhenius theory does not account for the basicity of ammonia, sodium carbonate, which do not have OH group. Means Arrhenius theory does not explain about the basicity of ammonia, means NH3, and sodium carbonate. NH3 does not contain hydroxide ion, means ammonia, and Na2CO3, sodium carbonate, also does not contain hydroxide ion, but both are basic in nature. So Arrhenius theory does not explain anything about the basicity of ammonia and sodium carbonate. The next theory is Bronsted-Lowry theory. According to this theory, acid is a substance that donates a proton. Proton means H plus. I am again explaining it. According to Bronsted theory, acid is a substance that donates a proton, means H plus, to another substance. And base is a substance that accepts a proton, means H plus, from another substance. As we can understand this concept by using this reaction. See, HCl is acid, contain H plus, and HCl donate its H plus to NH3. So NH3 is the base because it accepts proton. HCl donate proton, NH3 accept proton. So HCl is the acid and NH3 is the base. Similarly, when HCl donates its proton to NH3, it will become NH4 plus. And what is remaining here? Cl minus. Now see here. Now NH4 plus contain proton and it can donate this to chlorine. Students, see here, HCl contain proton and HCl donate its proton to NH3. So HCl is the acid and ammonia is the base. After donating the proton, only chlorine is remaining, so it will become base, and ammonia contain H plus. After accepting a proton, ammonia contain ammonium, means NH4 plus, so it will become acid. The substance which donate proton, it is acid, and which accept proton, it is base. Similarly here, the substance which is donate proton means H plus, it is acid, and which accept proton means H plus, it is base. So according to this theory, acid is the substance that donates proton, means H plus, to another substance, and base is the substance that accept a proton, H plus, from another substance, which is easily clear by this reaction. HCl and NH4 plus are proton donor and act as acid, and NH3 and Cl minus are proton acceptor and act as base. Students, the base which is produced by accepting the proton from an acid, it is nothing but a conjugate base of that acid. I am again explain it. The base which is produced by accepting the proton from an acid is the conjugate base. Of that acid. Similarly, the acid which is produced when base accept a proton is called conjugate acid. For example, see here, HCl is a acid. It gives proton to water, so it will become H3O plus. It will become acid. It means H2O and H3O plus both are conjugate acid base pair, and HCl and Cl minus both are again conjugate base pair. First, HCl is the acid which donate proton to H2. HCl is the acid, it donate proton and become base. So this acid and this base are conjugate pair. H2O is the base because it accepts proton from HCl and become H3O plus, means hydronium ion. So these are conjugate acid base pair. Same here we can understand by this. HCl is the acid, it's donate H plus ion and become base. So HCl and Cl both are conjugate acid base pair. NH3 is the base, it accepts proton and become acid NH4 plus. So these are conjugate acid base pair. I hope you can understand what is conjugate acid base pair. The next theory is Lewis theory, or you can say Levi's theory. According to this theory, acid is any substance or any species that accept a share in an electron pair, and base is a subspecies that donates a share pair of electron. Means electron concept is there. In Bronsted theory, proton concept is there. Acid donate proton and base accept proton. In Levi's theory, electron concept is there. Acid accept electron pair and base donate electron pair, which you can easily understand by this reaction as you have already known. Nitrogen containing lone pair of electron. So acid accept shared pair of electron, as you have seen in this reaction. H plus means acid which accepts shared pair of electron, and NH3 is the base which donates shared pair of electron. Same here. Boron trifluoride which accepts electron pair from ammonia. So according to Lewi's theory, acid is any species that accepts shared electron pair, and base is any species that donates shared electron pair. Students, these are the three theories about acid and bases. I hope you can understand.